Whoa, shit.
It's over. The countdown is up. We're live. So
That was some
anything weird.
That was some funky shit.
It was. Can I tell you what it sounded like to me, the intro? Because I actually haven't heard the entire song. It sounded exactly like the Congos. Remember that band? They're releasing a new album.
Yes, of course.
That's exactly what it sounds like. Welcome to the podcast, I guess. It's the unofficial podcast with myself, Duncan, and Hunter.
Yeah.
That's Hunter over there, Hunter Kennedy, and I'm Duncan Bain.
That one.
You see, you're going to do this the whole time. You're going to go opposite side. So this is the correct side.
Yeah. What up?
So I think we should start off the whole podcast by sort of telling everyone where this idea spawned from. Myself and Hunter met like years ago on a tour to Douglas in the Northern Cape. And we were on a barge trip, if I'm not mistaken. We were on an actual barge. And what happened was we just met each other, chatted, and we found out we're both into pretty weird things. And we thought, well, we kept in contact and we kept chatting. And then during lockdown, at some point or another, we decided, hey, a podcast, that'd be a really ridiculous thing to start. Everyone's doing one now. So we might as well just join the fucking movement.
Well, both of us kind of lost our jobs, you know?
Yeah. So, no, look, okay, fair enough. I lost my job completely. But you're still, what is it that you do for a living? You make craft beer. You're in this band.
Good call.
You see, we have to actually punt. Okay, we're not sponsored yet, and hopefully, if we work this out properly, Fork Off Lager can sponsor us. I'm not drinking Fork Off, so
I don't know if Snake is watching, but you're drinking a good one. Mad Giant's also good. Someone says your mom is watching, Duncan.
She probably is. Hi, Mom.
Yeah. I think my dad might be watching too.
Oh, really? What's your dad's name?
John. Well, he's got the same names as me.
Oh, okay. Cool. I don't know why I asked you that. That was very personal. But this is how we get to know each other.
What's your mom's name?
My mom's name is Isolde, from the famed Tristan and Isolde play, I think. But yeah, basically, we're here now. Myself and Hunter into incredibly weird things. We've done like a trial run of this podcast before. It was good. I was impressed. It was pretty good. As you can see, there is also a chat on the side here. So whatever, if you guys want to say anything, if you want to join in the conversation, you're more than welcome to. We got a chat that actually works. It's pretty rad. Besides that, we've also got sweet branding made by our. We have a producer of the show. She's not Bianca. You're not getting paid at all. So yeah, basically today is episode 1. Episode 1, and Hunter suggested we're going to go into the world of UFOs. But before we all do that, I just want to say follow us on our Facebook page. We have made one. So much effort. Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg is watching. So there's the link to the Facebook page. So go and like that while you're here. But yeah, Hunter, how are you doing this evening?
I am tired and excited, nervous. I'm quite nervous for this. I don't know why. Because I like talking to you and whatever. So
thank you.
And I'm glad I'm glad we got the lockdown talk out of the way, because you actually wanted to suggest something.
Yeah. So in the chat, if you are watching and if you catch us doing one thing, so myself and Hunter made a bet, or not a bet, an agreement that in this podcast we will not talk about two things. In general, we're not going to talk about COVID-19, the pandemic, Corona, any of that. If we say the words COVID-19, Corona, or anything like that, we have to donate 100 Rand to a charity of, you guys can suggest charities in the chat if you want. We have to $100 per every time we mention the words or have any referencing to Corona. The other one was that we all know that Hunter is a musician. We're not going to talk about music. We might
on this one.
Yeah. Eventually we'll get to music.
Sorry, but it's just the penalty is for mentioning COVID and shit.
Yeah, so if we mention the pandemic, we have to pay 100.
It's not a conspiracy podcast.
Yeah, no, okay, sorry.
Gary, yeah.
No, hang on. I just want to preface something. I'm just saying we're going to have a starting point. The point that we start at is right now. Done. We're also going to talk about politics. Myself and Huntz are not educated enough to have any sort of say on politics. That is also out of the window. Today's episode, however, we're going to talk about UFOs, weird sightings. All this. This is Huntz's A game. Huntz is all about this. He is so down to clown.
Dude, it is a massive rabbit hole. Obviously, this UFO shit. Are you into UFOs?
I think.
I mean, or what is your feeling? I don't know. Yeah, just like what is your vibe?
I want to go in and say, I think it's what I'm going to give that classic answer that everyone always sort of gives is going, there's so much out there that it's impossible that us humans can be alone. The universe is so huge. I do have like belief that there is other life forms out there. However, whether they've visited us, man, I don't know. Like the evidence that's come out, I don't know. I'm gonna be the fence sitter, and I want you to take me by the hand down this rabbit hole and convince me. Where do you stand before I even sort of?
No, yeah, I don't know, man. I believe different things all the time, so I'm not 100% a believer all the time. UFOs, I think.
Hang on, how can you not be a believer all the time? Isn't belief one of those constructs that either you are or you aren't? Like do you bevel, like one day you wake up, you're like, no, I don't believe in UFOs. The next day, like, hey, I might believe in UFOs.
Yeah, we can get into that later. But I mean, one day I think maybe it's like time traveling humans from the future, and the other day I think it's
shit. Okay,
you know what I mean? Because there's just either fucking millions and millions of people are nuts, which is a possibility, I guess. But it just feels to me like a massive mission to just make shit up. You know what I mean? Like there's just so many stories of people, never mind just witnessing UFOs, but like abduction cases and all that kind of shit. And I just can't believe that everyone is just making that shit up for attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's also one of those things where like, why would the media has no real gain out of saying, hey, this person has a story about being abducted. It feels like with the idea of UFOs and other life forms, there's nothing to gain for the media, and the media loves gain. They're not running an agenda when they say, hey, a guy from like Arkansas saw a flying saucer. They're not gaining anything by doing that. They're just reporting on it. Where I feel like the media always punts things that they can get something out of. So I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I mean, from the stuff that I've seen, I can just imagine if I had to go public and say like I got abducted or something, that it would actually destroy my career more than anything else. You know what I mean?
Are you trying to subvertly say in the podcast that you're abducted by aliens?
Maybe. Listen to the end. Maybe there's a
journey. You said rabbit hole.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I mean, I sent you a few links earlier today, and I feel like I should also warn the people watching right now and maybe listening later that this is kind of a trial run for us. I haven't done this before. I don't think Duncan has done this specific kind of thing before.
No, not at all. Do you want to watch a video first? Are you trying to show me a video so we can see what's going on? Let's just go into a video. So I'm gonna put it right here. This is the first one that you sent me today. So I haven't watched any of these links. You've just sent me an absolute bucket load of links.
Already, this is irritating me. Whoa.
Okay, so
solid proof.
Absolute proof, yeah. That could be anything though.
It went behind the lines and shit. It could be anything. What does it look like to you?
Okay, look, I understand the editing of this video is.
I think the music makes it a bit weirder. But look at that thing. I don't know.
I'm just going to pause it there quickly. My issue with this, right? No, so like, I get it. But like, absolutely, I get it. Like, people have these videos that come out and they're awesome. And like, why do they always have to play that like stupid ass spooky music? Like that music sucks. Let's go on with like the first thing. That music that they always have to put on, that like extra.
It makes it less believable. Yeah.
In fact, correct. It actually makes this less believable. The problem that I have with video evidence at the moment is why also does it always look like it's been shot with like a Nokia 3310?
Yeah, look, for like, if there's so many of those things out there's been an argument like, what people have cell phones now with cams on it, why aren't these things being captured? But I guess this is kind of proof that it is. I just don't know how hard do you think it would be to make that thing? You know what I mean? To put like, to CGI it or whatever.
Look, I think that if you have a half decent editor, for them, it would be an absolute breeze. They'd be able to. I mean, look, they made Transformers. Not a great film, but not a great film. I'm sorry if I've offended any Transformers fan. Not a great one, but the CGI in that. I mean, they make a truck look like a real robot. So I mean,
but I mean, these videos are from some Mexican's fucking Facebook channel. And I mean, is that what they do? Do they have like a room where people sit and just make fake UFO videos to confuse the rest of the world? Like, I don't
another
understand.
Question I have for you. Another question I have for you before we get into more videos and stuff like that is, why is it always like North America that seems? Sorry, I've got another video in the background. Why is it always North America that's attacked? Like, it's
attacked.
Always
that's the movies.
Attacked. Sorry. Why is it always like? I mean, I've never in my life heard about some dude from like the middle of Romania or something like that, like some Central European country going, Brestova UFO flew over other. Okay, that was insensitive to how they speak, but I'm just assuming that you never see like a European video. It's always like some hick from the middle of like Tennessee going like, we done saw UFO.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I might change your mind on that later. But do you want to watch some more of this possibly fake UFO footage, maybe, just to get in the mood?
I love how you've given me the stuff as hard evidence. Hard evidence. I mean, like, it could be fake, though. It could be fake.
This is not hard evidence. I'm trying to lay a foundation here of this is the shit that's out there. You know what I mean? Okay, and then we can get into some shit.
Okay, so this is another video. But okay, like, look, that could be. Okay, wait, hang on. It's a flying croissant.
It does look a bit like a mushroom as well.
Like,
ooh,
spooky, real spooky. So
look at that thing.
Yeah, okay, anyway. I get it. It's not a bird. Okay, so look, we can absolutely, without any doubts in our mind, say that is not a bird. But the thing is, nowadays we have drones. People fly drones all over the place, and like they have different designs.
That could definitely be a fucking drone. I'm with you.
And that's my thing. I just
okay, debunked.
Busted. There was a comment here from Karina. Who said that she saw a docu of a lady in the 90s saying that she was abducted years ago. She has no reason to make it up. She's at the end of her life. It's an interesting point. Like, why would someone lie about that if they did, for example, see a UFO in their life and they're like, oh, I got abducted? But also, why would you say it right at the end of your life? Like, why wouldn't you tell anyone about it while you are still on, this planet? Seems a bit like odd.
Yeah, it's weird. Obviously, like at Afrikaans is Groot, there's a guy, Dion, and he is actually also a psychiatrist that puts people under, like the hypnotic regression thing. And he says that a lot of people actually talk to him about abductions and shit. And he has to take it as that they believe it. You know what I'm saying?
You can't obviously, like, under whatever, I don't know if it's Hippocratic oath or whatever the thing is, you have to be like, I believe you.
Yeah, just because it's their story, and obviously that's inside the kind of psychiatry office. But yeah, I don't know, that 90-year-old woman, I agree. I don't see why she would be making it up. Do we have another video there?
There's one here that you sent. It's from it's on a page. This is a YouTube link that you sent me. I'm not 100% sure. Just let me. I mean, you've watched all your stuff.
I see.
You know better. Hang on, why is this there? Hell. Just give me a second. I'm gonna have to just change the actual thing that it's sharing from. So you sent me this one, which was a YouTube link, if I'm not mistaken. It was this Facebook link over here that got sent. So I just want to quickly share the screen now of the actual video that you sent me, because I'm not 100% sure about this one. It's, again, I think it's Latin America.
Hotspot.
Yeah, so this one has no sound. Again, North America.
Yes, but the footage is terrible. I can see it.
He's there. Okay, but the guy's also zooming into the wrong thing completely.
But would you take the time to fake this? Is kind of all I'm asking. Or that could be any kind of round flying craft.
But I just want to quickly also say that these are all things that you found that have been published within the past few days as well. These aren't things that
No,
like,
these aren't classic ufologist go-to fucking videos. Yeah, these are just random shit that people post.
Right. So here's the thing, right? So there's all these videos. I say video evidence, and I'm going to use the double thingamabobby. My real question is for you, Hunter. Now I'm going to have to push you for an answer. Where do you fall in? Where do you fall into the line then? Like you said, you have these different things and it changes by day. But if you to put a pin in the mark, what is the thing that gets you thinking about this? Or like, because I know that you yourself don't have a classic like, oh, I believe in UFOs, I believe in aliens. You think there's a lot more depth to this. There's levels to the belief.
I think for a long time I thought of it as some kind of psychological condition. You know what I mean? That there might be some kind of archetype in our memory, or because I don't know if you know the God helmet. It's like a electromagnetic thing.
What's it called? God helmet.
The God helmet, yeah. Some fucker thought out, and it electromagnetically simulates the God experience. So that
just a quick question before I share this on the stream. Does it look like a motorcycle helmet? Is it literally
can.
like a motorcycle?
It can.
Sorry, the reason I'm asking this
it looks like a sci-fi movies like helmet thing with wires coming out and shit.
Okay, well, the one that I've
let's get put it on.
Sorry. So the one that I've got, right, is the God helmet, according to Google, right? When I Google image search this, that's what I got.
That's it, dude. It's the pinnacle of science. This is what 20.
Look at the guy who's wearing it. This is not the pinnacle of science, Hunter.
We were promised hoverboards, and we get this shit. But
we got Cletus wearing his motorcycle helmet with like the outside of an iPhone strapped to it.
But so this thing electromagnetically simulates like the God experience, right? Which is euphoria. You know what I mean?
Okay, what is the no? I don't know what you mean. What is the God experience? I've never heard about.
It's like it's absolute euphoria. You know, when people have religious experiences where they claim to have seen like an angel or that kind of shit. You know what I mean? This thing simulates with electromagnetic waves. It simulates that experience. So for me, it was like if you're standing in a weird place on Earth that has a weird electromagnetic thing, maybe you start seeing shit.
You see, like, I don't know, dude. Like this one's like a step for me. Like I don't know if it's because like I haven't thought about the world in this sort of way. But like I just don't get it. Like where have you ever felt like a different magnetic field besides if you're like standing next to a satellite dish?
When I astral travel to the pyramids of Giza. No, I mean, I haven't.
After taking literally a shaman's handful of whatever tabs that he was giving you and strips.
Daniel Jacobson, yeah, no. I don't know. I haven't felt anything like that. I don't think. No, I don't fucking know. But it's that shit has been proven that they can simulate some euphoric contact with the creator with that helmet.
But isn't this just like leaning back to the same thing of being like, it's? Do you have to take some like ingestive or like something with it, or do you just wear the helmet?
No, you literally just wear that.
Where they're gonna feed you like strips of acid and then strap this helmet on your head and then be like, go for gold, mates. Like
it is in a lab, and we don't know if those people had been on like a DMT trial before they tried on the helmet. No, that's true. We don't know. But anyway, Duncan, maybe I can also try and explain it to you. Do you know that the New York Times ran an article last month?
No.
So the headline is "No longer in shadows. Pentagon's UFO unit will make some findings public." For over a decade,
I did read about that they're uncovering like things that deep in the back end of the Pentagon, like that, what they found.
Yeah. I just want to read that explosive excerpt. It's like off-world vehicles or some shit, and someone eloquently in the in the comments stated Hunter Kennedy equals Tom DeLonge, which is not entirely true. But I actually think that To the Stars Academy had a lot to do with this stuff. We can't make it ourselves, says some fucker from the Pentagon. After looking into this, I just want to read you this.
Can I show that video at the same time? Because there's that video that they have of like the military. So while you're reading this, I think it'll be like the full sensorial experience that we can watch the video while you read this wonderful excerpt to us. So this is the video that was on that article from the New York Times. This is the video, right? I don't know.
This looks fake to me as well.
No, but look, this is obviously military.
I'm joking. Stuff. Yeah, no, this is military shit, and it's locked onto it. And I mean, I'm not the pro here. You can listen to Jeremy Corbell talk about this shit. But so this thing is apparently gonna make some moves. But people have tried to debunk this, and obviously they're like, "Fuck, it's the military. We're not gonna confuse a bird for a UFO kind of thing." And it's also actually not called UFOs anymore. It's called UAPs, by the way, unidentified aerial phenomenon. But so
why? Is the name UFO offensive to
them? A lot of ufologists constantly push. They call it like the Freedom of Information Act. So a lot of ufologists push for any documents like with the word UFO in it or whatever.
Yeah.
Check that thing's speed is apparently insane. And so I think they just changed it to UAP so that people wouldn't know what to look for when they're asking for Freedom of Information Act requests. But basically what that New York Times article is saying is that there is a government-sponsored program investigating these UAPs.
Yeah.
They are not saying it's aliens, but I mean, there's a quote like this. Oh man, now I've lost it again. Where they basically say like they might have some meta materials from off-world somewhere. And I just don't know about that shit. I have Adrienne. I have watched the Joe Rogan podcast. It's very rad. Obviously, if anyone wants to know a bit more, then Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp on Joe Rogan is great. Yeah, for more insight into this.
So this is a thing that I wanted to touch on a little bit is Adrian says like research Anunnaki. Now
I have the 12th planet next to my bed. I have.
Okay. So this is the one thing I wanted to touch on. So like I said, I've always been a skeptic about the UFO things, and also probably not my best source of information to start changing my mind about is I started watching that Ancient Aliens, right? So fair enough. Like Ancient Aliens isn't exactly like the key that George Sosokalis or whatever aliens.
I can look like that guy.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly that guy. George he's got a very, very Greek surname that I can't pronounce.
Tokos.
But when I watched that, they put some things in that show, like ideas or whatever, that made me start thinking, shit, we definitely have, like there must have been we must have had some visitors before, because again, I'm not educated in this. That's why I'm here listening to you and why we talk about this stuff, because it's fun to speak about. But when they talk about that stuff, like with what the Mayans made, where they say,
Anu.
what's
Sorry.
what? All good. What's that thing? It's in South America somewhere. It's not Machu Picchu. It's another one that like it looks like a pyramid.
Puma Punku. There's a few.
Yes,
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
That exact thing where you like clap your hand and then like the echo resounds. But they talk about in that thing, like you can't, the way that the structure's built, there's no ways that people like back in those days had the exact tools to make that kind of stuff. Like, how can you possibly have like two blocks so tightly together that you can't even fit a paper through with sort of, 2000 BC tools? They're like, they say they struggle to do that today.
Yeah. It can also be lost technologies of a human race. You know what I mean? It's I don't know if it has to be aliens for me with that thing.
Well, what kind of technology can get lost though that you can't, like, what I'm saying is with the stuff we have now, and we have like diamond cutters, we have the technology now obviously is a lot better. Like, what sort of thing could they have had with what the things they had available to make that kind of stuff is my question.
Different episode, bro. But I get you. What
do you mean different episode? We're talking about UFOs and ancient alien things.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Hunter. Don't sit here and bitch out on me. I'm here to learn.
I won't ask that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm also into that shit. It can.
Why don't you want to ask me, Hunter?
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
Don't do this, Hunter. Speak to me. We're in this together. It's a relationship.
Fian Fenter over here in the comments is saying Bob Lazar. I don't know. Have you watched the Bob Lazar docu on Netflix? I love it. I love Jeremy Corbell. Yeah, no, it's great. You should watch it. Do you know Bob Lazar's story?
No. Wait, first of all, like, just for anyone that doesn't know, i.e. me, who is Bob Lazar? What does Bob Lazar do? I
think I actually sent you a link with a bit of him talking about it. It's like it was an Instagram link, Jeremy Corbell. But so Bob Lazar was a whistleblower. He claims that he worked for the government at a secret laboratory in S1, which is in Area 54. Area 51, S4. And he claims he was hired to back engineer alien technology. And this was like in the 80s when he came out with that story. It's like a similar thing to Snowden kind of vibe. But you have to watch it. It's pretty good.
So what you're saying is like they hired him to make alien things, to make people believe that aliens exist.
No, to back engineer a downed craft. And he was shown.
Shit. Okay, sorry. That's completely different. So like, okay.
Yeah.
Alien spaceship crashes into Earth. They say like, okay, listen, you got to make this thing. You got to do this. Like, this is it. I've got a video here called Jeremy Corbell, Commander Underwood is the man who filmed the DoD confirmed TRC-TAC UFO. That one.
So that would be those videos that we just watched. That would be the pilot of that craft talking about what we saw on those videos. Right, so if you want to listen to that, the other Instagram one is Bob Lazar.
Okay, so I'm just going to open this one here quickly. Because I'm super, like, I know absolutely nothing about this. Like, my knowledge in terms of this is so limited in that I have legitimately like zero idea. I can't actually find the other Instagram one, but that doesn't matter. Let's listen to that. I'm very keen to actually listen to this guy that was flying that aircraft that we watched basically. I think
this is an introductory kind of course into this thing. There is just no way that we can go into everything in detail unless we want to make a 6-hour podcast, which I'm not very keen.
You don't want to spend that much time with me. That's actually hurtful.
Not yet. No, it's fine. I mean, off camera, sure.
Okay, cool. On camera, not so much. Because you don't want to be like associated with me where people can see you. I like it. I feel what you're saying, bro. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Don't do that.
Don't you put that hate on me, Ricky Bobby. Okay, sorry. Let me do this. Let's see if this plays. Why does Instagram have this like a mute thing?
USS Nimitz in November of 2004. I was with the Black Aces of BFA 41. I filmed the Tic Tac Clear video.
this Tic Tac UFO. At the range you were, you should have been able to see rotors, tail, wings, plumes, and exhaust.
Right.
You're not seeing that.
None of it. Aircraft have very, very specific infrared signatures. You cannot mistake it. Whether it's a 737, another F-18, or an enemy aircraft, there are key features on that infrared pod that identify it as an aircraft. This is not conventional aircraft of a U.S. military. It's not a civilian airliner, not a helicopter. It's certainly not a bird. I'm close enough to the object. You should be able to see a tail. You should be able to see wings. You should see the exhaust plume. Those should be very, very obvious.
None of that.
That's correct. This is not a conventional aircraft. This is something different.
Wow. That's profound.
My name is Chad Underwood. I was on USS Nimitz.
So that's, which makes sense. So, like, I mean, my father's in aviation. I know what an airplane looks like. There are certain
Hey, that's interesting. You should ask your dad if he's seen a UFO.
I have. He says no. But I do have a story from my family while I was doing research for this podcast. Real story, bruh. Because, you know, we were talking earlier about how it always happens in America.
America, yeah.
Like it goes, oh, America, they got all the cool alien spaceships.
Alien shit.
Yeah, man.
Metamaterials.
Why do they only want Americans? Why do they only want Americans? They must kidnap me. Fuck. Anyway, sorry. So what happens is that's a story in my family. Real. This is like super, super real. And it's one of those things because I feel like people that have ever had an experience with sort of aliens or extraterrestrial beings or anything of the sort, there's always two sides to it. So that the thing is, like, if you don't believe them, they get like super offended because, again, what you believe, it's the same as any sort of religion or belief structure. Something that you believe in is intrinsically important to you as the person. So if you have someone denying what is your reality, people are obviously going to be quite upset with that. So my mother's uncle used to be a truck driver years ago. So, and obviously truck drivers spend a lot of time on the road at all times of the day. And again, I'm not going to start picking away at his story right now before anything. But his story verbatim is this. He's driving from Joburg to Cape Town on the N1 National Highway. It's only him on the highway. He hasn't driven, a car hasn't driven past him this way, and he hasn't passed the car, a car hasn't passed him for the past half an hour. He's out there on the N1 alone. You have to take into account this is also like 70s. So, you know, like obviously less traffic, that kind of stuff. He says, lo and behold, while he's driving, middle of the evening, pitch black, only source of light he has are the front lights of his own truck. And he's driving, banging a bit of radio, listening to some Kansas Carry On My Wayward Son or whatever he's listening to.
Yeah, I love it.
I just thought it's a good tune. I
love this scene.
That's why I've got to build it for you. He sits
there
smoking a Gunston plane, flicking it out the window, Carry On My Wayward Son playing, pitch black, only his lights in front, driving on the N1 somewhere in the bloody middle of the Free States or the Karoo or something. And he says, lo and behold, like a light is in his rearview mirror, but incredibly bright, like super bright, not like a guy's like xenon lights that he's got attached to his car. And he's looking at this in his rearview mirror and he's going, shit, okay, what is this? I mean, he starts slowing down a little bit to get the thing to pass because he thinks it's a car. He says, all of a sudden, this light comes speeding up, gets bigger and bigger in the rearview mirror or the side mirror. But then he realizes it's not behind him. It's actually in the field, like in the farm field next to him, about 2 to 300 meters away. 2 to 300 meters away. And he says it's just this big glowing orb of light. And he says it just comes right, basically like parallel to where he is, keeps like speeds up to there, carries on with him at a pace for like a couple seconds. And he says then this thing just goes straight up in the air. He says he can't explain it. It happened though. You tell that man, his name's At. You tell At that it didn't happen. He'll break your arm. Because for him, this story is something that is so intrinsic to the person he is today. That story shapes all of his stories that he's ever told. It's a moment in his life that he can't explain. And I think that's the weird thing about it.
Yeah, man, exactly. I mean, that really does sound like a normal, for lack of a better word, a common UFO experience. Yeah,
Again, it's
I've
one of those
just
things. It's South
heard
Africa
many
in the
stories like
70s.
that.
Why would there be any sort of military grade? Like, look, I'm not trying to like get into like some weird history lesson.
My God, but maybe Denell, bro. I'm joking.
The once mighty Denell
We had nuclear
UFOs
weapons.
now bankrupt. Yay! Thanks, government. Denell. No, I get you, but it's just one of those things. Do you know
No,
anybody?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Have you met anybody in your life and have spoken to someone that is or has been in contact?
No, I have seen something
He's
weird,
let
but
down.
no, sorry.
I was expecting, because with the job you have, you must meet some interesting people. So I was just
That's true. I'm thinking Dozy. I'm gonna ask Dozy if he's seen a UFO, because I think if anyone has seen one, it has to be him. I reckon.
100%.
But no, I've seen something weird, but I've kind of come to the conclusion that it was ball lightning, which is a different conversation as well.
You're convinced it was ball lightning, okay? What happened?
Yeah, do you know what that is?
Tell us about your. I've read sort of things about ball lightning, but not.
Nothing in this story makes anything seem believable. We were drunk and extremely stoned driving back from Cape Town to Durbanville.
Look at that story.
And
we've brought 40 minutes of the podcast at this moment. Okay, build the scene. You're drunk.
Yes,
a little bit high.
Yeah, and
just playing a game?
in the car, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Cool. The guitars
no,
and drums.
I don't think so. No. It's me and two of my friends, and we just looked to the left. I remember looking to the left out the window, and there was just this orb, like slowly moving across those grass fields. Excuse me, out there in Durbanville. And then I just remember all of us kind of going like, "Fuck, did you see that?" And it was just like, when something heavy happens, you just get that feeling. It just sinks, like fucking sober all of a sudden kind of thing. But I've seen some videos of ball lightning, and it actually looks like that thing. But it's interesting here, Duncan, in the comment section.
People that don't know, just give a brief on what ball lightning is, just so that you're not leaving everyone in suspense.
Like you. Yeah, I don't know. So it's apparently this kind of not undocumented, unless the video I saw was fake, it's just kind of this rarely seen, misunderstood weather phenomena. What would you call it? Yeah. Weather,
what makes
atmospheric phenomena? I don't know. Their thing is like it's some kind of static vibe, and it forms plasma momentarily that kind of just moves from one what the fuck ever thing into another one. Low pressure system. I don't know, dude. I'm not a fucking scientist.
Hang on. Okay, well, hang on.
Yeah, ball lightning there.
Well, we've seen a lot of wild. I've got a ball lightning video here. So was this anything like you saw? So no, sorry, we're going into this. Okay, ball lightning.
It looks very far away.
Weather this weekend, but take a look at this video shared with us on Twitter. There's a phenomena ultra rare known as ball lightning. Can't really say if that's an example, but scientists can't really explain the phenomenon either, other than the fact that it looks like a ball exploding.
That's not
looks like that. And sometimes leaves behind
a that thing in the middle there. Is that what you're talking about?
So that thing over there.
No, maybe more to the bottom. That thing that looks like the sun there.
Yeah, no, but like if you watch the video, so what I thought they were talking about, because I saw
the
lightning
strike,
I thought
but scientists can't really explain the phenomenon either, other than the fact that it looks like a ball.
But I mean, this thing that I saw was like close to the ground. It looks like what you would imagine makes crop circles. You know what I'm saying?
So here's a comment here from Adrian. Ek het my neef het presies so 'n orb experience gehad toe ons langer klein William kamp. goosebumps. What the fuck, Jade? I can see. Bruce, so hang on. Now, what is in? I need to just quickly say. Sorry, I'm going so far from the mic. Have you ever? Sorry, what was I even saying? Sorry, is there something about that night that there was like weird weather? Was there a thunderstorm going on?
No. Summer, Cape Town. I mean, there's no rain really. No, there's nothing that would have made me think, oh, it's lightning. You know what I mean? So for a long time, I kind of held the idea that I had a paranormal kind of experience. But like I said, we were stoned and drunk, so I didn't fucking really remember all of it even. But I just remember our reactions. It kind of went from elation, you know, we were talking shit in the car, blah blah, to this like, you know, did you?
What did we
guys
just
see
experience?
That? Yeah.
A lot of people have been like they say it's like that. As I know, this is a topic for another day. So I just want to fix my chair. I keep on putting it down. I'm quite a heavy bloke, so the chair keeps going down. There you go. I'm back. So a lot of people have that same sort of experience. They say when they've experienced sort of paranormal activity. That I've heard. Like I have a lot of friends that have told stories about the same thing, that you going on big Joel, and then all of a sudden they see or experience paranormal activity, and then it just sobers everyone up, and this is like weird because you can't explain it. It's sort of like a bit of a mood killer, so to speak.
Yeah, man. Well, I don't really know what to say about that thing, really. I don't feel like I had a paranormal experience. It was weird, and it is kind of weird that the Adrian saw the same thing. So, excuse me, but like I said,
just let it out, Britt.
It's the beer, bro. It's the beer.
It's all good.
Did you hear it?
It's all good. It was pretty loud. I'll be honest, it was pretty disgusting as well. But I'm in. I liked it.
Oh God,
it was good. I'm gonna clip that exact part for the highlights reel. We're gonna put up.
Nice. Yeah, I like it.
That one's going in the highlights reel. So Huntz and Dunks, it's their podcast.
But dude. Sorry, man. I just want to finish up the American side of things because someone else mentioned something. Adriana.
Yeah, this comment over here, which we'll get into in a second. So just finish up what you're saying.
Do you mind if I just read something to you?
Of course.
Which is quite interesting to me.
Of course, I mind. I mean, like before.
A great book for people who are interested in these things to read is American Cosmic by Diana Walsh Pasuka. Great book. She's a professor in religious studies, and she has tackled the belief in aliens or UFOs as a potential new religion, which is almost like the more technologically we progress, the more sort of technologically inclined our beliefs are, like the simulation theory, like anyway, great book.
To break it down is going in like, because we're becoming more modern, our religion needs to become more modern, sort of.
Well, it's not. She doesn't. She's just saying that is. It looks like that is happening because there's she says here, more than half of American adults and over 60% of young Americans believe in intelligent extraterrestrial life. And that tracks pretty closely with belief in God. So that's kind of interesting, right? And then I just wanted to read you this, where she is blindfolded and taken to a desert out in New Mexico by one of these scientists that was in the room, like to create the internet, and they were in the beginning stages of Apple and shit, but they choose not to be named. But she says, so we traveled to New Mexico, and Tyler brings us to the site blindfolded, which was very weird, but part of our agreement. He didn't want us to know where we were exactly, but we get out there and we actually find some things that are quite odd, and we take them and study them more closely. Now, the backstory here dates to the 1940s, and the mythology of Roswell, New Mexico, is the alleged site of various UFO crashes. The place we went to wasn't Roswell, but it was nearby. Anyway, what we found was undeniably strange, and I still don't really understand what it was or how it got there. It's very hard to describe. One of the materials, a kind of metal alloy, looked like metallic frog skin. There was another material we found, but I was asked by Tyler not to describe it publicly or in the book. But if you're looking for more context about that sort of materials we found, you can read the New York Times story, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean...
What do you think they found? What do you think the other material was?
Fuck knows, man. I don't fucking know. Like a alloy that kind of looks like frog skin. I mean, that sounds like X-Men or some shit.
But
like Colossus.
There has to be some sort of like liquid or something that has like infinite potential to like power shit. That's what my biggest worry is, because otherwise it's impossible that aliens and shit exist. Like,
yeah, Don McClellan, Element 115. So Bob Lazar claims that, you know, the guy that reverse engineered the alien craft, or claims that he did. He says that their propulsion system is powered, and at that stage, Element 115 wasn't even on the periodic table when he came out with it. And he claims that that is what they use to power their craft, and that it's actually like basically an anti-gravity device. And Bob Lazar was saying that gravity is waves. He was kind of ahead of his time with all that shit, because Element 115, like 10 years later, they I don't know how to say this. They realized that it can be in existence, and I think they've actually created like a bit of this Element 115 in a lab synthetically. And Bob Lazar also said that gravity is a wave, which was also only accepted by the general scientific community in like the 2000s or something. But you'll have to watch that docu.
No, I will. You listen. You're pulling me around here. You're bringing me in. I just want to go back to that. Just to finish off that other story about the orbs that Yadrian said. So Yadrian said that like they themselves were sober, walked out of the ablution blocks back to the camp, and saw a bright orb hovering over the dam. We saw the reflection from the water first, and then looked up. Boom, gone.
I like it.
Was that sort of similar experience? You looked, things disappeared.
It, you know, what sounds similar to me is the nature of it, the water, the grass, kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know, but that's everywhere, I guess.
Water and grass,
everywhere except the city. Yeah, no, it's pretty
fucking common things, if you ask me. Just we're gonna go back now. Sorry, we're doing this classic thing of like we're going forward, then we like move back 3 notches.
We are terrible at this.
No, it's not. This is damn good. If I'm to be honest, I would like this if I was watching it, because I think the hosts are damn good looking. I'll cheers to that. You keep going the wrong way. Okay, cheers. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Clink. Cool. So yeah, you were talking earlier about because I made the comment of saying like, oh no, Toys America, they're the only ones that get attacked by the UFOs or whatever the case is. But Adrian put up a comment here saying, this is for me. Go look at the aerial phenomenon. Aerial phenomenon explores the 1994 extraterrestrial encounter witnessed by over 60 Zimbabwean school children. Now, I know that you sent me an article about something like this, which I didn't really read because I didn't want to read it. Just spoiler alert myself before we go onto the podcast to speak about it. So this is a real thing. In Zimbabwe, school camp, kids saw aliens. Do you know more about the story?
Yeah, so I mean, it is an interesting one. I'm not exactly sure where to start. Sunny day, summer, rural Zimbabwe. It's like a private school. The kids are drilling outside. The teachers are all in their what do you call that shit? Their board. What is the teacher's boardroom? Their mess hall. I don't know. They're fucking personeelkamer. Yeah.
Yeah, the staff room, I believe it's called.
And the kids just fuck out, kind of thing. Kids are running around. It's absolute chaos. They all say that they saw a UFO land or something. The whole school is spooked. They managed to get the kids into the classroom.
At their school ground. They weren't out on like a camp or something. It's at their school, their private school.
Midday, aliens land.
Time.
Yeah, school time. The aliens beam messages into the kids' head of the future, and it's humans are fucking up the world and you need to change your ways and all that kind of shit. So there's a woman called.
Ironic that it happened in Zimbabwe. I'm not trying to be funny.
I know, dude.
I mean, that's...
No, but I mean that's my problem too. If you were an alien race trying to deliver a message, like fucking telling kids in rural Zimbabwe, I'm not exactly sure. That's kind of my problem with it. If it's really an alien race trying to, what the fuck are they doing? It's just like, show yourself, you cowards. You know what I mean? Like, is it like a, is it like a?
Well, they're goddamn scared of us people because we have Belleville. What the fuck do you have, aliens? What's up?
Lindy Paul, yeah, I'm taking a guess there was grass and water as well. So I think we're onto something here. But so what actually happened
at the kids' school? We have, sorry,
probably.
Okay, there's grass and water at the kids' school.
I don't know.
Aliens land. B messages. So when you say B messages, were you being funny? Were you being funny about that, or like legitimately? Like, have there been accounts of people that? Because it sounds like one of those things. That surely these kids, obviously the kids survived.
Look, there are many interviews. Please interview one of those kids today. We actually have a few interviews. I think we have one interview with those kids. I'm actually following a few of them on Instagram. I'm a bit of a fucking weirdo. But dude, no, but
we're most guys sit on Instagram to follow like influencer girls showing ass on the beach in like Miami. I'm just following kids that were visited by aliens in 1994, just because that's where he gets his kicks from. You know, gotta get down with those kids from 1994.
I want to know, man. I want to know. No, so but. No, but it's actually, dude. I think that shit really affected those kids, man. You know what I mean? They're never.
You hounding them on Instagram, DMing them, asking for.
That's a little. So I am the weird one.
Yeah, so,
I am the weird one.
What's up, baby girl?
I got you.
You know those aliens? Like what they say to you.
Well, I'm saying. Sorry, the beaming thing, it wasn't like beaming. The kids claim it was like telepathically. They say that they told them through their eyes kind of thing. But you can watch that shit. Just Google aerial school phenomena. There's supposed to be, from 2018, there was a docu supposed to be coming out. But I don't know. It hasn't gone into final editing or some shit. Or they're just looking for money. But yeah, so then what makes this specific case interesting, the aerial phenomena one in Zimbabwe, there is a great South African UFO researcher called Cynthia Hind, and she was able to get there like the same day or the next day or something. And she was in contact with John Mack, which is he was a Harvard psychiatrist, I believe, and he actually flew in to interview these kids. Oh, the BBC was there that same day. So they interviewed a lot of those kids. And in this aerial phenomena, those are the drawings the kids made. So I'm seeing grass already.
Okay, so that's a picture that was obviously,
drawn. It's not photographic evidence.
Yeah. You're such a dick, dude. I love it. Just so you're all aware, this is not photographic evidence. This is a drawing from a child. Okay, so this article's from 2014. So that's apparently a picture that was done there. Okay, so it's quite a long article. So okay, so there's
it's a great article. I actually love it, and they interview a girl that's now grown up, and she's just saying that like her life is kind of been ruined by that event, and how no one believed them and all that shit. I mean, it's a super interesting story, and we can't climb too heavily in there. But what makes it very interesting to us, of course, is that it was on our doorstep. Basically, you never hear Firstly, you rarely hear about daylight UFO landings. Secondly, it's weird that it's like in Africa and that it happens to a bunch of kids, like more than 100, more than 50, say, so it's a group sighting as well.
So here's all these kids drawing what they saw. Now, again, this is one of the situations where, like, I never get it. Like, the classic alien form is always like this. It's always that, like, big head, massive eyes.
I reckon they're, like, I reckon they're like cyborgs, like biologically grown robots. Maybe those little
This
gray
is
fuckers.
crazy. Like, but it's crazy how they all have like a very similar vein to them. Like at the with the trees and the.
Well, it was the same place, the trees. You see.
Yeah, grass, trees, water. And how we're finding. If you want to find an alien, go somewhere where there's a lot of grass. Yeah, Cody. What's that place called there by you guys? Kirstenbosch Gardens. Stick around there for a while, and then you'll see an alien.
Yeah, but so some people have been mentioning Dr. Stephen Greer, and sorry, he's got a way of contacting aliens through some kind of meditation. Anyway, yeah, man. But yeah, so Zimbabwe, it happened on our doorstep.
Good pivot. I like that. That was a good segue. What I just want to say is, if there was a segue that was good, that was a fucking good segue. No, going back. Sorry, I just want to quickly just
unprofessional.
No,
this is one. Wait, and so this John Mack guy. So the BBC was there. It was actually broadcast like around the world that same day. John Mack, this revered psychology professor from Harvard, comes down and interviews the kids, and he actually believes them. And then he picks up trouble, and I mean, he's kind of ridiculed by his peers and whatever. But still, to this day, those kids are convinced of what happened. You know.
But there's always the theory though that I sort of believe to an extent. It's like kids are very good at kids are very bad at lying. Kids are incredibly bullshit at lying. They're like really. Two things kids are bad at. Take this from me: acting and lying. Have you ever watched the kids play? Terrible. Don't get just sitting there and going, oh, the Christmas play was great. Kids are shit at acting, and they're very bad at lying. So when a kid's talking about something like this, and an experience that they had, it's quite difficult to make 100 kids that witness the same event have a generic story. So you're going to have this. Yeah. You're going to make them lie. I'm saying the generic story would be a lie. So that's what I'm saying. It's almost interesting that you have to sit and think you have 100 people to interview. And if 100 people that are all kids who are pretty not crafty at lying or being told, say this, because a kid eventually will tell the truth. So that's why when you said that this John guy, the John Mack or whatever, believes them, it's because something probably bloody happened.
Yeah, debunkers say that Cynthia Hind kind of groomed them to tell the same story, because she interviewed them first. But the BBC was there. Ancient astronaut theorists suggest. Yeah, nice. Michelle Loebser, classic. But Jack Stone, the orb was so blue, bro. It was like a blue vibe. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments.
That's all good. You must tell you know that you can use your mouse. This is gonna be crazy. If you click on one of the comments, Huntz, I'm gonna teach you to do this with me.
No way, it goes up. Hey, I also like Graham Hancock.
Yeah.
But that's might also be another episode. And then do I hide it again? Yeah.
Yeah. You're getting good at this, bro. Like you're getting.
I know. Thanks, dude. I got. Did you? I sent you a link to an interview with one of these kids. I don't know if you want to watch it, maybe.
Which link was that? I don't know. Was it sent today?
God damn it! I'm gonna look for it. Yeah.
Did you send it to me today?
Yes.
What is the?
It's a very short. It's a very short clip.
I mean, I just copied links. Like I don't know exactly what link she sent me. So was it?
Can you
I asked
see?
my mom. I said, did you really?
It was the last one. It was the last one. The last link.
Yes, dude, this is absolute luck. Like the one I clicked on is the one. So is this the one? Yeah.
I asked my mom. I said, did you really believe me? And she said, well, you weren't a child who lied, and I may not have believed in what you saw, but I believed in you. So I guess in a way I kind of did. My dad doesn't really say too much about it. Again, very supportive in the fact that he knew that I was not a child who lied, and so therefore supported me. May not necessarily have believed in UFOs or extraterrestrials himself, but knew enough that I wouldn't make something like that up, or let alone be influenced. by other people. That just was not me.
But like I've never heard about this. I browsed through the thing when you sent it to me, and I've got to say, like I'm almost like buying into this thing actually of being the first alien thing that I've ever heard about. That I say, this sounds like it's really, it's got the good. It's got the good.
Yeah, it might have. Yeah.
The problem is with it is if you look at South Africa and Southern Africa in that time, it's not really a place that was like sort of, and we weren't sort of a global, and I think that's a big problem is the world wasn't as global as it was or is right now. So you're in a position now where say like that happened, and don't you maybe think, wild theory, that because perhaps now like aliens themselves are obviously above and beyond us in terms of technology, that they sort of know now that we've become more globally sort of connected, that like things are a lot easier to, that they would stop doing so much stuff.
Well, it kind of feels like it's picking up, isn't it? I mean, for a while there wasn't any major UFO sightings, and I mean, to me, it kind of feels weird that this Bob Lazar stuff is coming up again now, and then the New York Times is publishing this shit. It is a weird time. I just don't know what do they want, or DNA? Because if you listen to the abduction stories, it's usually people like injecting them with shit, taking stuff from them. It's like we're a human terrarium or something, like we do with apes. Like
that's you'd imagine that's because we're not as advanced because if you perceive yourself obviously as the highest form, that's why we perceive ourselves as the highest form. We test things on lower forms, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so that would probably be the answer to it. Is that's why. And I know it's a probing by aliens, etc. But I find it incredibly fascinating. What's that? Nazca Lines. Is that
Brendan Swart, what up?
What's
Nazca Lines are the massive.
There's like pictures.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's a bit weird to me that the aliens, they have this technology to travel from other dimensions or galaxies, but they need these crude rocks like to find their way for a place to land. It's a weird one. It is very interesting.
I heard about that is the difference of that could be potentially that, like, how religion is that could be their religious symbols and stuff like that. So it's not they're not doing it as like, these are where you need to fly if you want to get to like Brazil. They're putting it up there too, like actually like these are the symbols of like, we've been here, this is our, because it's a classic thing. Humans are the same thing. When it was Eddie Izzard, right? Who said like, you go out into the world and you try and conquer the world by usage of flags and by symbols. England goes to India. They go, hey, India, this is our
symbols.
Yeah. If you have the flag. So by symbolism and symbols, you sort of take over the place. You mark it as your own. It now belongs because it's got a symbol there. And I've seen all that stuff. And the one that has to be said is like the geological thing about in South America with those mountains that have the complete top taken off. And it looks like an actual, like a runway.
Landing place. Yeah.
That shit there blows my mind.
Yeah, man. Look, I mean, there's just so much stuff. Like it's impossible to cover everything.
Obviously,
in one episode. So I don't know. Do you want to? I don't know. Do we have anything else to look at? Because I'm kind of interested to just know how you feel.
I went into this podcast because beforehand I said like I'm in the middle. I feel good about the story that you told about Zimbabwe, like that whole idea. Like I'm a bit more skeptical. I'm not as skeptical rather as I was. Well, I have to think now and go. I've heard it from my uncle, or my mom's uncle rather. I've heard it. You've said like you've had this experience. A person in the chat has said, like they've had the same experience. There has to be something out there. And like, just to like, obviously we need to wrap up, but I've always said the one thing, like there was this one episode of Ancient Aliens, and of the stuff that I read and I did a bit of research on is the thing that I find the most interesting is how they say, like in every single place on planet Earth, North America, South America, the whole Europe, Australasia, Africa, there's been like one thing that every single continent has in common in terms of like old tribal rituals is head binding, where they elongate the head.
That's interesting. Oh yeah, to look like the fucking aliens.
And that's exactly it. Is they always say that this has to be something, because they say the highest form of respect is to redo or to copy. If you copy someone, that is like the highest form of respect. And that's obviously a thing. And that, I've always had that thing. And like listening to this and listening to you going on about this, and I think you might have convinced me into
what though?
Sorry, let me say this: that I would like to do more reading of the subject matter, because it's a subject matter that I'm neither here nor there about. And I think a lot of people aren't. Like I think a lot of people go, aliens, I don't believe. Oh, yeah, I do believe. But there has to be a multi-tiered thing. There has to be way more layers to
exactly. Dude, I just want to address Vian Venter here, UFO sightings in South Africa. I'm going to post a link here, which is that Cynthia Hind woman I was telling you about.
Yeah.
This link will take you to a website, because she published a magazine from 1993 to about 1998. There's 22 little magazines with just South African UFO sightings and alien abduction stories on that link.
Is there anything else in terms of links you might want to share in the chat that you have there that we didn't sort of brush on? There was one that I saw here from Vox, the UFO aliens, Mary Cosmic, Diana Pasaluka.
That is, yeah, I read you some of
is that the one? Is that from that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that is quite interesting. Not really to that stuff, man. I mean, for me,
links are good.
I don't think our answers I don't think our questions will necessarily be answered. What I was wondering about, though, it really does feel like we're in a Cold War era, and I've been wondering whether this Pentagon New York Times shit is just some kind of fake news to make China think that America possesses alien technology.
Oh shit! Okay, we have another 5 minutes. Go in. We have 5 more minutes. I'm in.
No. Well, I mean, that's just my one theory. It could be all fucking bullshit, because like the space race, they were. I'm not saying I don't want to get into the moon landing being fake or whatever.
No, not at all. But what I'm saying is, in general, I kept on hammering on about how America is always the place that's got these landings and stuff like that. It does sort of come across as like a thing that if you have like aliens, things, and tech in your country, it's scary for any other person to understand such.
But if it was that, then why would they admit that they don't know what it is?
Isn't it also maybe faking it though? What's it? Leaning into the
just
ball?
layers and layers of espionage and falsehoods, false news, propaganda, bullshit. Yeah, you just don't know.
I think you've gotten topic number 2, episode 2's topic. We're going into conspiracy theories because it sounds like you have your, you're in for that. Like you're a good conspiracy man.
Yes, yeah, we can. But you must bring me something.
I will. Yeah. I'll bring you a couple, but I'd like you to bring as well. What I'm going to do, if you do like the Facebook page, as you can see at the top of the page over there, go like the Facebook page. You're more than welcome to send us messages, type anything. If you want to hear anything, we'll consider it. I guess I'm not gonna sit here and say we'll.
Damn straight, dude. I'll go research some weird shit people post
So
on here. Definitely.
let us know on the Facebook page if you have anything that you guys literally have read. If it comes down to articles about the podcast that we've already done, that's awesome. We're going to post all the stuff that we go through. After this, I'll be posting stuff on the Facebook page, obviously about what we've done and where we research stuff from. If you have any sweet ideas, we're down for that. Yeah, that's pretty much that.
Yeah, man, I like it weird. We can definitely talk about games and shit at some point. But I just wanted to address Fian again. I read that the Pentagon apparently started some UFO task force. That was
Space
in
Space Force.
Space Force, dude. So much stuff. Anyway, yeah, I think the recent New York Times article basically says that in contradiction to what the Pentagon said 3 years ago when the New York Times ran their first UAP story, ATIP, which is like I don't even know what the abbreviation is for, but it's basically like, what was the old one? Majestic 12 or whatever, Project Blue Book. Basically, the Pentagon denied that they put any money into people studying, military people studying these unidentified aerial phenomenon, but it's they now have proved that it's still happening, so it hasn't actually stopped their little secret fucking investigation thing. Cool.
Okay, so what I think it's time for is time to everything was happening at, what was that one?
Nothing. I don't know. Sorry. Yeah, everything always happens.
If it's the end of the world, stop clicking on it. God. End of the world happening there. Zombie apocalypse, USA. Alien visits only in the USA. There's a theory behind that, though.
Mm-hmm.
They say like America has some like weird astrological power because even like humans themselves left to go there. Like there's this weird thing about like how America is like the real problem. Obviously, it's fucking Americans making up this kind of shit, but like how on earth would a country that was sort of only founded 300 years ago become an absolute superpower? Like it makes the progress of America is like, hang on, which way should I do it? Hang on, this way.
Conspiracy.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Is like but they say that that's like the one reason that America is always like the epicenter of everything, because there's like a hidden energy inside America, inside there. I mean, people from
underground bases of the previously advanced breakaway civilization. They're not aliens. They're older, smarter us.
That's it. Boom. Done. Anyway, I think we're going to wrap up the first episode of the podcast. Huntz, it's been an absolute bloody pleasure. First one.
Nice, buddy. Love you.
I don't think it went badly.
No.
I think if anything, it went well. For the first one.
Man.
We have production value. There was like an intro. We have pictures.
Dude, and that's thanks to you. I'll still write us a song. I'll sing us out if you want.
No, actually, I'm going to call out Hunter right fucking now. Hunter was supposed to write an actual intro song, like a intro song. But if you didn't know, Hunter's currently, am I allowed to say that? Are you? Oh, it's on Instagram, so obviously you're busy recording.
Yeah. So I could have, but I didn't. I forgot. Actually,
Hunter's busy recording a new album. Catch it in your nearest Musica soon, or don't go to Musica. So I almost said something about, hey, 100 Rand. We have to find a charity. I can say it then. Anyway.
But you almost spoke about the two things we weren't supposed to talk about. Let's just
cut it there. Anyway, Hunter, thank you so much. It's been absolutely
thank you,
awesome.
bro.
Just do me a favor, because we're both new at this, right? I'm gonna play the exit thing now. Just stay in the studio. Don't leave. Okay. We'll chat off air. We'll chat off air in like a minute.
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone for joining.
Yeah,
and it was very nice. Yeah.
I
had fun.
Me too. Anyway, goodbye.
Wait.
Yep. Okay, I'm in.
Vian has another important question.
Oh,
I was. What do you? I was thinking fortnightly, but let's see. Maybe we can make it happen next week.
People, the only people know about Fortnite now is that it's an online video game that kids play. Fortnightly means every 2 weeks. So today is the 19th of August, 2020. So the next one you can expect, what? We say September 2nd.
I don't know.
The day after Spring Day. It's 2 weeks of Fortnite, Huntz. I don't know what you thought a fortnight was.
Yeah, 2 weeks, yeah.
Okay,
What do you think? Okay, we can talk about this afterwards.
We'll talk. Listen, like I said, there's a video's gonna play. Then we're gonna go off air. Then we're gonna talk. We can talk personally. We don't have to. This one now we're just wasting people's time. People are tuning out now. We're just talking. Okay.
Yeah.
Say goodbye now. Say goodbye.
Cheers, peeps.
Bye.